My dear brothers and sisters, there are days when you look around and feel like you don't belong anywhere. You talk, but no one truly listens. You open your heart, but people respond with silence. You try to explain your pain, but they twist your words, judge your intentions, and walk away without understanding a single piece of your soul. And in that lonely moment, when everyone misreads your heart, the one who created your heart understands every beat of it. Listen carefully, because this message is not random. The weight you carry in silence, my dear brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when you feel like your heart is carrying a weight that no one else can see. You walk through your day wearing a smile, answering questions, doing your work, fulfilling your responsibilities, but deep inside there is a storm that only you can feel. You try to express what's hurting you, yet every time you attempt to open your heart, the words come out broken and people misunderstand the meaning behind them. You start to wonder if something is wrong with you, if your feelings are too much, or if your emotions are somehow less important than everyone else's comfort. You replay conversations in your mind late at night, thinking, maybe I should have explained better. Maybe I should have stayed quiet. Maybe I'm just a burden. And these thoughts build upon each other until the silence becomes louder than your voice. No one sees the nights where your heart feels heavy. No one notices the way your smile fades when you turn away. And no one understands how exhausting it is to feel everything so deeply while pretending that you're fine. And the hardest part is not the pain itself, but the loneliness that comes with it. You look around and realize that the people you thought would always stand beside you don't truly know who you are. They see your actions, but they don't see your intentions. They hear your words, but they don't feel your heart behind them. They judge the surface, but they never look deeper into the soul that is trying its best to hold everything together. But even in those hardest moments, when no one seems to understand you, when your emotions feel heavier than your strength, and when your heart is tired of explaining itself again and again, remember this one truth: the one who created your heart knows every part of it better than anyone else ever will. The one who knows you better than you know yourself. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a comforting truth that many people forget when they are hurting. Your Creator understands you in ways no human being ever can. He knows every hidden layer of your heart, every reason behind your tears, every emotion you struggle to describe, and every silent prayer that never makes it past your lips. Even when you cannot explain to yourself why you feel the way you feel, He already knows, because He created the emotions that rise inside you and the thoughts that fill your mind. There are days when you feel unheard by people, but you are never unheard by Him. He listens to the quiet trembling in your voice when you speak, the tightness in your chest when you hold back your pain, and the heaviness in your eyes when you pretend you are okay. He sees the moments when you feel misunderstood, not because you are wrong, but because your heart speaks a language that not everyone is meant to understand. And the beauty is that you never have to explain yourself to Him. He understands the things you cannot put into words, the feelings you cannot organize, and the struggles you don't have the strength to share with anyone. He knows the real you, the you behind your smile, the you behind your silence, the you behind your anger, the you behind your sadness. He knows your past and how it shaped you. He knows your scars and where they came from. He knows your goodness that people overlook, and the sincerity that people misunderstand. And He knows the depth of your intentions even when others accuse you, judge you, or twist your actions into something you never meant. So when the world confuses your kindness for weakness, He knows your kindness came from compassion. When people call you distant, He knows you were just tired. When people say you changed, He knows what broke you. When people misread your silence, He knows the battles you're fighting quietly, the fears you're trying to process, and the dreams you're still holding on to even when they feel impossible. And perhaps the most comforting truth is this: He never sees you the way people do. People see moments. He sees the journey. People see mistakes. He sees your effort. People see your slip. He sees your sincerity. People see your outer words. He sees the heart that whispered them. People judge the surface. He understands the depths. He knows your story from its beginning to its end, and He never misinterprets a single page of it. So when no one understands you, don't break. You are understood more completely, more lovingly, and more accurately by the one who created every heartbeat inside you. You are never hidden from Him, never lost to Him, never alone with Him. Misunderstanding is not failure, it is a divine protection. My dear brothers and sisters, there is a truth that many hearts discover only after being broken over and over again. Sometimes being misunderstood is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of protection. You may not realize it now, but there are moments in life when your Creator allows people to misread you, not to hurt you, but to move you away from places, relationships, and situations that were never meant to carry your heart to begin with. There are times when you try to express your love and someone twists your sincerity into something suspicious. There are times when you give your best and someone interprets your effort as arrogance. There are times when you share your feelings honestly and someone calls you dramatic, sensitive, or difficult. And these moments leave you questioning yourself, wondering why the people you trusted suddenly look at you through the wrong lens. But here is the golden truth. Your Creator sees what you cannot see. He sees the hidden intentions of people long before you ever meet them. He knows who is genuine and who is pretending. He knows who would support you and who would secretly envy you. He knows who would uplift your heart and who would eventually break it. And sometimes the only way to detach you from those who are not meant for your life is to let their misunderstanding push you away. So the moments that feel like rejection are often the beginnings of your protection. The friendships that fade are sometimes doors to healthier ones. The relationships that fail are sometimes the very things saving you from heartbreak you never could have survived. The people who misjudged you were never meant to witness the greatness that your Creator is preparing inside you. Think about it. My brothers and sisters, how many times did someone leave your life and only later you realize they were never sincere? How many times did a closed door protect you from a future disaster? How many times did a misunderstanding help you escape an environment that was silently draining your soul? And how many times did your loneliness become the reason you returned to your Creator with a heart that was finally honest, humble, and ready to grow? Even the most beloved people in history were misunderstood. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the most truthful, gentle, sincere, and kind human being, was accused, judged, and rejected by those whose hearts were clouded by arrogance and ignorance. Not because he lacked goodness, but because their hearts were not ready to recognize the truth he carried. So if someone so pure could be misunderstood, what makes you think you will be spared? Being misunderstood is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that your journey is bigger than their perception. It is a sign that your Creator is shaping a path for you, a path that requires strength, patience, and a heart that trusts Him more than the opinions of people. So the next time someone misreads your intentions, take a deep breath and remember, this could be your Creator pulling you away from someone who cannot walk the next chapter of your life with you. This could be protection you prayed for without realizing. This could be a blessing wrapped in confusion. And one day you will look back and say, Alhamdulillah that they misunderstood me because it led me exactly where I needed to be. The silent transformations happening inside you. My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a stage in every believer's life when the loneliness you feel, the misunderstandings you face, and the distance that forms between you and people are not signs of abandonment, they are signs of transformation. These moments that make you feel unheard, unseen, and unappreciated are actually moments in which your Creator is quietly rebuilding you from the inside, removing the layers that were weighing your soul down and preparing your heart for a journey you never imagined you would walk. There are times when you sit alone and wonder why your life changed so suddenly, why familiar faces feel distant, why your energy feels different, and why you no longer connect with the people you used to run to for comfort. You may think something is wrong with you, but the truth is far deeper. You are being reshaped, refined, and elevated in ways your eyes cannot yet see. You see, when people misunderstand you, it forces you to turn inward. You start examining your heart, your intentions, your habits, and your faith. You begin searching for strength not in people, but in prayer. You begin seeking comfort not in conversations, but in quiet moments with your Creator. You begin finding peace not in explanations, but in surrender. And that shift, that subtle, silent, invisible shift is the beginning of your spiritual awakening. Your Creator knows that if everyone understood you, you would depend on them. If everyone supported you, you would rely on them. If everyone comforted you instantly, you would never experience the depth of returning to Him. So sometimes He removes the distractions, closes the doors, creates a little distance, and allows your heart to feel alone, not to break it, but to guide it back to the one place where it will never be rejected. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this transformation is that while you are feeling disconnected from people, you are actually becoming more connected to Him. Your late night tears become conversations. Your unspoken fears become prayers. Your overthinking becomes reflection. Your silence becomes healing, and your loneliness becomes a space where your soul finally breathes without pressure, without masks, without needing to be anything but sincere. The people who misunderstand you see a version of you that exists only on the outside. But the one who created you sees the entire story, every memory, every wound, every effort, every intention, every heartbreak, every step you took trying to be better. He sees the moments when you wanted to give up but didn't. He sees the nights you wiped your tears quietly so no one would worry. He sees the strength it takes to be soft in a world that keeps trying to harden you. He sees the faith buried inside your confusion, the hope buried inside your sadness, and the patience buried inside your silence. And He uses every misunderstanding, every rejection, every disappointment, and every moment of loneliness to grow you in ways you would never grow if everyone understood you. He removes what is temporary to give you what is eternal. He takes away what blocks your heart to give you something that nourishes it. He closes doors you cried for because behind them were paths that would have harmed you. He opens new ones quietly, gently, without noise, because the most beautiful blessings do not enter your life loudly, they enter softly and change everything slowly. So if you feel misunderstood today, remember this. You are not breaking, you are becoming. You are not alone, you are being guided. You are not lost, you are being redirected toward the version of yourself your Creator always knew you could become. And one day you will look back at this chapter and finally realize that every misunderstanding was a step toward the peace you are destined to find, the wisdom behind the doors that close in your life. Sometimes the hardest moments in your life are not the ones where you fall, but the ones where you feel like you're standing in front of a closed door with no idea why it's shut in your face. You replay every detail in your mind, searching for what you did wrong, wondering why people walked away or why someone you trusted suddenly changed. You tell yourself that if people truly knew you, they would understand your heart. But perhaps the deeper wisdom is that they were never meant to. Every door that closes, every heart that walks away, and every misunderstanding that pushes someone out of your life happens with a precision that only your Creator can design. He closes doors you would have run through blindly because He sees what stands on the other side. He allows misunderstandings to happen because He knows the truth you can't see yet. Not every person who enters your life is meant to stay, and not every person who stays is meant to go with you into the next chapter of your growth. Sometimes the people who leave you misunderstood are the same people who would have broken you if they had stayed. Sometimes the friendships that crumble due to a small misunderstanding were never strong enough to hold your future blessings. Sometimes the relationships that fall apart after you expressed your truth were never built on sincerity in the first place. And sometimes the silence from someone you used to rely on is not a punishment, it is a sign that your Creator is redirecting your heart to a place where you are valued, not drained. Think about it. How many times did you cry over someone only to later realize their absence was the greatest protection you could have received? How many times did you beg for a door to reopen only to discover that if it had, you would have carried a burden too heavy for your soul? How many times did you feel rejected only to look back and see how perfectly your life unfolded when that rejection pushed you towards something far better? The truth, my brothers and sisters, is that every closed door in your life carries wisdom, even when the wisdom hurts. You grow through the confusion, you rise through the disappointment, and you become stronger through the silence. Your Creator takes away what you thought you needed so He can give you what your heart was truly created for. And He sometimes allows people to misunderstand you because if they fully understood you, you would stay attached to them longer than you should. Your growth requires separation. Your peace requires distance. Your future requires space where your heart can breathe. And misunderstandings are often the most gentle way your Creator detaches you from what was never meant to stay. Because if He took those people away suddenly, you would break. If He exposed their intentions all at once, you would be shattered. If He showed you the whole truth in a single moment, your heart wouldn't bear it. So instead, He removes them quietly, slowly, and in a way that feels confusing, but later becomes clear. One day, you will stand in a moment of peace and look back at all the pain you carried. You will look back at the people who misunderstood you, the places you left, the friendships that faded, and the doors that closed, and you will finally understand that none of it was random. It was the path. It was the plan. It was the protection you didn't recognize at the time. And in that moment, with a heart filled with gratitude, you will whisper, "Now I see why every door had to close." The moment you realize you were never alone. My dear brothers and sisters, every one of us reaches a point in life where we feel like we are standing at the edge of everything familiar. You look around and see people moving forward in their lives, forming connections, living with confidence, while you feel like you are quietly drifting, trying to hold on to pieces of yourself that feel like they're slipping away. This is the moment when you question your worth, your path, and even your place in the world. But what you do not realize is that these moments of deep uncertainty are the very moments when your Creator is closest to you. There are times when you look at your life and see emptiness, empty friendships, empty conversations, empty promises, empty support, and you wonder why everyone seems so distant. But what if the space that people left was meant to be filled by something far greater? What if the silence you are surrounded by is not a punishment but an invitation? An invitation to return to the one who never leaves, never distances himself, never turns away from a heart that calls upon him sincerely. Sometimes the pain of being misunderstood becomes the doorway to a level of closeness with your Creator that you would never experience if people understood you perfectly. When you are left alone with your thoughts, you start speaking to Him in ways you never did before. You speak from a place of truth, a place of vulnerability, a place where your heart finally stops pretending to be strong for everyone else. And it is in those raw, unfiltered moments that you begin to feel a peace no human connection has ever been able to give you. Every tear that fell when you felt misunderstood was seen. Every silent night you endured without opening up to anyone was heard. Every broken moment where you felt like giving up was written with wisdom. And every time you whispered something in pain, thinking no one could hear you, your Creator heard you clearer than anyone who ever claimed to understand you. You might not have realized it, but during your loneliest nights, you were being guided. During your most painful days, you were being held. During the moments you thought no one understood you, you were actually being redirected to the one who understands you without explanation. And during those moments when your heart felt like it was collapsing under the weight of emotions no one else could comprehend, your Creator was strengthening you quietly, gently, without you knowing. There are blessings that only come when the world grows silent around you. There is clarity that only appears when people step away. There is peace that only settles in a heart that has tasted true loneliness. And there is strength that only emerges when you realize that the love of people was never meant to be your foundation. You were always meant to stand with Him first, then with the world. So if you feel like no one understands your pain, your dreams, your fears, or your heart, remember this: you were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be understood by Him. And the moment you realize that, everything inside you begins to breathe again. Because the loneliness you fear is the beginning of your closeness to Him. The confusion you feel is the beginning of your clarity. And the silence around you is the beginning of a deeper guidance that will transform your life in ways you cannot imagine yet. Your story is still being written with perfect timing. My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a moment in every journey where you begin to realize that everything you went through, every misunderstanding, every silent night, every tear, every heartbreak, every distance, and every shift was never random, never wasted, and never unnoticed. It was all part of a story being written with a wisdom far beyond what your heart could grasp in the moments of pain. Sometimes your Creator allows you to lose people so you can find yourself. Sometimes He allows your heart to break so He can rebuild it in ways that prepare you for blessings you are not ready to receive yet. Sometimes He lets your circle grow smaller so your faith can grow stronger. And sometimes He allows you to walk alone so you can walk toward Him without distractions, without noise, without the pressure of being understood by people who were never meant to understand your soul. What you see as isolation is often the beginning of elevation. What you see as rejection is often the beginning of redirection. What you see as pain is often the beginning of purification. And what you see as people turning away from you is often the beginning of your Creator turning you back toward Him, gently pulling you away from what would harm you and guiding you toward what will heal you. He knows the exact moment when your heart becomes tired. He knows the moment when pretending becomes too heavy. He knows when your strength quietly fades. And He arranges life in a way that pushes you into moments where you stop relying on explanations, on validation, on being understood, and you instead rely on Him with a sincerity that only hardship can create. And this is where your story begins to shine. Because after all the confusion, clarity arrives. After all the loneliness, connection arrives. After all the heaviness, relief arrives. After all the misunderstandings, truth reveals itself. And after all the waiting, what is written for you arrives with a beauty that makes every past tear worth it. You will meet people who understand the depth of your silence without needing an explanation. You will form connections that feel easy, safe, honest, peaceful connections that are sent as a reward for every moment you were misunderstood by those who were never meant for your heart. You will find opportunities that make sense of every door that once closed. You will feel a strength inside you that is born from surviving everything you once thought would break you. And one day, you will look back at this chapter, the chapter where you felt alone, misunderstood, exhausted, confused, and you will smile softly, whispering to yourself how perfectly everything unfolded. You will realize that every struggle brought you closer to the person you needed to become. You will realize that the moments you cried were the moments you were being guided. And you will realize that the loneliness you feared was actually the space your Creator used to rewrite your heart beautifully. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not misunderstood in the way you think. Your story is being written with a precision, mercy, and love beyond what your eyes can see right now. And one day, when everything falls into place, you will finally understand why nothing else ever worked. Because you were being saved for something better, something purer, something more peaceful, something truly meant for you. My dear brothers and sisters, if there is one thing I want you to take from this reminder, it is this: you are not invisible, you are not forgotten, and you are never misunderstood by the one who created you. People may misread your silence, misjudge your intentions, or misunderstand your heart, but your Creator never does. He knows every tear you hide, every thought you overthink, every dream you are afraid to speak, and every prayer you whisper in the darkest hours of the night. So whenever you feel alone, place your hand on your heart and remember that the one who gave it life has never left it for a single moment. Whenever you feel lost, know that guidance is already on its way. Whenever you feel misunderstood, know that truth will come at the perfect time. And whenever the world feels too heavy to carry, know that you were never meant to carry it alone. Your story is not over. Your path is not wrong. Your heart is not weak. You are simply being shaped into who you were always meant to become. So breathe gently, trust deeply, and move forward slowly, knowing that every step you take is seen, recorded, and rewarded. And one day, you will look back and thank your Creator for every moment that hurt, because it led you to the peace you were destined to find. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who feels alone today. May peace fill your home, light enter your heart, and may you never walk a single step without guidance and protection.